Here we are looking at the daily chart of ITNS. This one has a nice little pattern here that's starting to take shape. Looks like it's put in a bottom and has actually begun an uptrend. Granted, the uptrend has been pretty quiet and settled, but there have been higher lows, which is the definition of an uptrend. So the chart's looking like it could be getting ready here to hopefully spring back to life here. Still work that needs to be done, and I'll explain what I mean by that, but it is starting to form a nice little attractive setup. So first place I want to start off is just simply talking about the bottom. You can see that down here, I'm not going to count them up, but I'd say at least 7-8 days the price bounced off of this 009 area, and every time the bulls held strong. So 009 seems to be the final bottom that finally the bulls kind of drew the line in the sand down here, and then since then the price has no longer seen that low. The second most recent low was right here on this little pullback here, but the low of this day right here was at a penny, and then the low of this day was just slightly above a penny. So you can see that there has been a higher low that's been put in, which allows us to do this and draw an uptrend line. And like I said at the beginning of the video, uptrends and higher lows are the name of the game. If there aren't being higher lows put in, then you can't draw trend lines, and without uptrend lines, then there is no upwards bullish trend. So nonetheless, like I said, we do now have this upwards trend line here and support level, and this will be the key support. This is the level that you want to see the price remain above, as it has in the past. Every time it's pulled back, you can see it's been bouncing off it. So you want to see that continue to happen into the future. In terms of resistance levels, what we have here is a downwards resistance trend line like this. So I'll change this to red to represent resistance. And this carries us right into our next point of a nice little wedge pattern that we have formed, symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. The point being, and the important part is, we have lows that are sloping upwards and highs that are sloping downwards, which is the definition of a wedge or symmetrical triangle. So what we want to see happen, obviously, from the bullish perspective, is for it to have another couple nice green days like this and then break out of this pattern. And with that, we'll have a pattern breakout, which should set off plenty of scanners and so forth. That'll bring more people, traders, chartists, into the chart to at least pull it up and check it out. So with a break of this pattern, what other areas of resistance are we looking at? Well, we have this little batch up here. You can see multiple times the price bounced right off this area, and this level is valued at 0.016. So with the break of the trend line, the next key level to break through is going to be 0.016, and then after this is where the party could really get started, as the next level of resistance is not until way up here over 2 cents. And before you go and say, well, that's from 0.016 up to just over a penny, that's not very much. Well, we have to keep in mind that when we're talking about stocks that are less than a nickel, the percentages add up very quickly. So although 0.016 to 0.022 may not seem like much, remember to think about this in terms of percent, and you'll see that there's quite a bit of potential right here. And then after that, next level of resistance is not until this 200-day simple moving average, which is valued at 3 cents. So again, from looking at it percentages, that could be a potential big gainer. But again, one step at a time. First, got to break out of the symmetrical triangle. But with this uptrend that's been forming, you can see it's kind of starting to form like a little coil in here. Just need to see some continued follow through and break up through this top portion of the pattern, get through 0.016, and then there should be plenty of eyeballs that start to notice it, and who knows what can happen. This one seems to have a pretty small float given by the way it's traded, so it looks like it does have the potential to move pretty darn quickly. So get this one on your radar for this upcoming week. Let's see what happens with it, and let's see if the bulls can kind of stampede through this resistance trend line here and get a pattern breakout. If there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. But once again, this was ITNS. Thanks for listening.